Hey guys, welcome back. It's Melody. I hope you guys are having a lovely fall, and today we're going to be doing the apartment tour as promised. I just got back from Mexico. If you haven't subscribed to my Instagram, definitely do so because I'm posting the tail end pics from the cruise, so you'll definitely want to see that because Mexico was absolutely fun. I had a blast with my family. We basically bought my mom and dad tickets to the cruise because they rarely ever get to travel, and it was a real big delight. They absolutely enjoyed it, and it's really nice to travel in a group in general. So I had a lot of fun. In fact, if you guys want to visit a warm place like Mexico and Hawaii, end of the year is the perfect time to save for that. And then, you know, places like the Netherlands or Japan is perfect when the flowers are blooming because you want to see all that action. My minimalist, streamlined, organized apartment tour. So this apartment is basically done. The bench right over there is going to get moved out soon, but I love so much about this apartment, but we only have one lifetime, so I'm gonna really focus in the parts that I absolutely love and do an individual room tour on another time. Therefore, we can cover the most ground, and I will link everything that I can find in the down bar. The very first thing is when I moved into this apartment about 6 months ago, I put up this board right here, which made the biggest difference for me because it was all of my dreams, and I've basically accomplished all of them, save one or two and a few of the travel places, but that's all gonna get knocked out in the next 3 to 5 years easily. So I'm gonna be taking this board down very shortly, but getting everything together there in front of my face, it allowed me to get everything that I wanted, which is insane because I thought for sure there's no way I could be able to do that much in 1 year. But that just goes to show if you can get focused, you will for sure cover a lot of ground. And then on the side here, I have my boogie board, which I love. One of my most favorite items of all time is this boogie board, which is basically a digital shopping list. So I never ever have to use paper. Boom, just write everything down that I run out of. In this kitchen, there's a lot of empty space, but I have everything possible. I could make everything possible, including cake, including juicing. If you have some ingenuity, you can go ahead and create everything with almost nothing because, for instance, with the spatula, you can easily use the spatula for many different things, but I can create every possible dish. So it really can get you excited to think about the possibilities. One thing I did want to note is I have everything in this whole house labeled. Everything is labeled to the maximum, and I'll go ahead and link it down below, but you definitely want to get these labels that have the black backdrop and the white letters because it will pop against anything that's dark. So I have the spices over there, and then I have everything labeled. I even color coded it, which if you want to take it to the next level you can, but you don't have to. And I really like coming in here. One of my pride and joy things in here is the Mexican vanilla, because the Mexican vanilla, I just got it as a little souvenir from Mexico. Can't wait to try it. I'm sure it's going to be the best thing of all time. And as you can see here, there's just a lot of empty space. All the way up here, there's nothing. It's just a lot of empty space. I like to have as few things as possible so I can cook the maximum, travel the maximum, live the maximum. So that is it for this area. I'm so proud of this area. You guys have no idea. I'm so proud of this area because cooking is so fun. It's like an art station. There you have all your paints. It is absolutely a ball. I have all of my gardening equipment and things over there, all of my cleaners over there. Cleaners I try to keep to 5 at any given time. But just imagine the possibilities if you have so few cleaners underneath your kitchen sink. It never ever gets dirty because, you know, the cleaners aren't making it dirty. And over here we have my dish pots. I try to make everything float as much as possible because if you make everything float, it's so much easier. It's so much easier to wipe everything down if everything is floating as much as you possibly can manage it. I have paper towels that are linen. This is the dirty section and these are the clean ones, and that helps me to save money on paper towels. Having a well-organized pantry is one of the greatest joys. Closet and pantry, if you only tackle 2 areas, over-label them, you'll not regret it. You cannot over-label something. If you over-label something, you can just take them off so easily. The biggest problem is under-labeling. Once I became a court reporter, one of the first purchases I ever made as a professional was I got these containers because I knew the pantry is the biggest thing. The wardrobe is something I do totally for me, but sharing food is one of the best, the most enjoyable things of all time. In my coat area, I just keep all of the coats that I use all the time as I'm leaving outside of the door, and the purses I use all the time. So this is the coat I wear all season, which is the one that makes me look like Betamax, which I love. Or Marshmallow. Up here, I really want to focus on this acacia wooden skylight board. I really love this cutting board. It's absolutely beautiful, and it's my favorite wood cutting board of any cutting board I've ever owned, so I'll definitely link that in the down bar for you guys. And I got a bottle of wine from one of the parties I attended recently. I lucked out. And I really like that diffuser because it reminds me of this building in Israel. And it's nice to just circulate the orange and the eucalyptus oil all throughout the house. Orange to go with Pat. Over here I have my soap station, and I love this soap container. I got it from this shop in Tennessee, and it looks like a little oil jar. Very French inspired. So I keep it elevated. You can keep your things elevated on a block of wood, a block of acrylic, whatever you would like. It gives it a little bit of an extra pop, and it helps the counter not to get dirty. Over here I have my quilted chairs, which I love. I will also link those down below. My mirror, so I can check how I look right before I head out the door. My plant in my vintage lion container that I found on Etsy that I love. I love this vintage find. I like treasures, you know what I'm saying? I have double curtains all throughout the living room because I was very particular on that. I wanted a sheer panel behind it so that it would give a kind of heavenly appeal early in the morning time. So you can see on the right side there's completely sheer. There's only 2 sheer panels because that's all that's necessary. And I also tie them back with a ribbon in my bookshelf. Boom. Bookshelf. And my thriving, thank God this plant is thriving because the other one is on its last leg. That's okay because this is the tropical plant and we're going for the tropical appeal in this living room. So I usually use the ottoman if guests are over so I can serve stuff in the middle of the room, but otherwise I like having an open space so I can grab my mat out and do my exercises, which my mat is always behind my couch. Therefore, it's taking no visual space. My reference books, there are things about travel, things about furniture, and things about Tesla. So that's basically and also airplanes. So that's basically the gist of my interests, and these cycle out. It's really nice if guests come over, they can flip through your reference books. In my media center, I have some camera equipment and some of my knitting equipment over there, and then all of my vinyls are underneath in that section. Most of them are gifted to me because they're old vinyls. If I ever buy vinyls, it's going to be the new bands that I really like, and they're always going to be a small band, so it's going to be a very hard vinyl to get. If I see a band that I really like, I will go out of my way to go get to that place just to hear them live and also to get their vinyl. The channel's called More Melody, so you knew there was going to be multiple speakers in my house. Over here I have this vase that was handmade in Tennessee. The artist is he is amazing. His art pieces are stunning. I cannot wait to gift this one day to my children or my grandkids, because honestly I'll probably hold on to it way longer than that. But when the light shines through this, these little specks of red come and pop. And they come out and pop, like sparkle. It almost looks exactly like a dragon, like how you would imagine a dragon to be. And the thing is it's so soft. What caught my eye about his pieces, and you don't have to get a vase, you can get a little ornament for your Christmas tree. What caught my eye about his pieces was that they were so soft to the touch. I could not believe the texture, because he basically sandblasts everything, so it feels so smooth. So for this one, I'm going to be putting a lot of tulips in there, because tulips are such a pure plant. Even when they're dying, you know, they don't let off any dirt or anything into the water, which I absolutely love that. I love chrysanthemums and I love tulips because I just feel like they're hardy and they're pure. And then over here I have my crystal. I got it at a crystal shop in Tennessee, and I put my little crystal, citrine crystal. It's one of my favorites, yellow crystal. And so I keep the big crystals on display, and the little crystals I keep inside of my plants outside, and that's because they're just little rocks and stones and stuff like that. So I keep there, so when the sun hits those crystals outside, when the sun hits my plants, they all sparkle. My favorite crystal of all, the purple crystal. amethyst. It's absolutely gorgeous when the sun hits it. It sparkles. One thing I like about this one compared to the bigger pieces is that it was open, so it's like a disco ball. And another thing, it's shaped like a heart. And then over here I have all of my art supplies when I'm doing painting. My lava lamp, which is lavender. So I have a color scheme in my house. Basically, when I turn on the lights out here, it's almost always lavender. It's very rare that that light over there is orange, but I put that on for fall. But usually I have a lavender theme going on over here. On the wall I have this beautiful painting commissioned from the Ukraine. I'll link the artist down below. But basically I really like it. Light grays are more feminine and dark grays are more masculine. So in the bedroom I have a dark gray sheet. So even if you like to keep things as minimal as possible, if you just change out the sheet set at the bottom, you can have a little pop of color. You can have some orange, you can have some pink. The light scheme in this room is blue or red. Sometimes I change it to red, but I really like that. And I don't even need that lamp anymore because I have this gorgeous chandelier that I just put up. And I laid out those crystals line by line. I feel like it's the graduation because when I was younger, I had little crystals hanging in the window to catch the rainbows. And now this is like Isaac Newton on steroids. It's so beautiful. My chandeliers are my favorite part about the whole apartment. Totally worth it. And the light source is just one thing. Quickly before the sun goes down, because the sun's just about to go down, there is a beautiful, beautiful hill from my bed. When I sit up in my bed with my notebook early in the morning, who can ever want to go out of bed when you see that view? But check this out. So basically, I'm lying in bed early in the morning and I can easily open and close my curtains to any level that I want, and I can stop it. It's completely wireless. One thing I want to say, as techie as I am, how in the world do you guys hide your cords? There's got to be somebody on here. Curtains are multi-purpose in an apartment. It helps to swallow up the noise. I have my nightstand that I built. One of the projects that I took on 2 years ago was I built this nightstand from scratch. I wanted a futuristic nightstand that was floating so that basically my Roomba could come in and take all the dust away, as well as to have a notch on the side that I could easily open from the bed. I have my planner with which I can stay on track all the time. I always know what's coming up on the horizon. Very big piece of mine. And I have my big timer, and I use that also to do a little bit of graphic design and stuff like that. But that really big timer really helps me out to keep on track of things. I really like having an iPad to order things, Uber, food, anything to my house that I absolutely need. I don't even need that lamp anymore now that I have a chandelier, so I might be getting rid of it. Basically my earplugs and my Q-tips. That's all that I keep in my nightstand to keep it nice and simple. You can watch the sunset over the hill, and yet there's very few things in this room total. Cleaning this room is such a breeze. Over here I work from home. I'm about to change out my steno machine. My steno machine makes all of this possible because I work 3 hours a day from home. I absolutely love my job because it gives me maximum freedom, and I get paid basically to listen to politics. That may not sound fun to some people, but that's nice to me because it's killing a lot of birds with one stone. I want to keep abreast, but I don't want to keep abreast for free. You know what I'm saying? So in here I keep it very basic. It's a little echoey because my rug is in the wash right now. My fur rug that I jump on, it's a faux fur rug that I jump on every morning. That brings me great glee. It's in the wash right now. First of all, before I continue with this one, I want to go back into the living room because the sun's about to set. And I want to show you guys the chandelier in this room. Maybe it's already too late. See how it glistens? When the light hits it, it makes a bunch of little rainbows. And the reason why I like this one is because it looks like rainfall coming down in the forest, which reminds me of Hawaii. If you guys have been following my channel, you guys know I grew up in Hawaii, so I try to make it a Hawaii theme. Here we have our candle station. As you can tell in this house, there are many stations, so I don't lose track of anything. Some of these candles I made myself. Isn't that right, Pat? We made it ourselves one cold winter day. So this candle's ocean because again it's going with the, not the fall theme, but the Hawaii theme. We direct the seasons don't direct us. I keep almost nothing on the counter. The only two things I keep on the counter are this apothecary jar. I love apothecary. Anything apothecary is my style completely. And my Jo Malone orange blossom lotion, which if you want the lap of luxury, when you're laying in bed, your skin feels like velvet. People will touch your arm and tell you your skin feels like velvet. That's the power. the power of a really rich body lotion. And then my supersonic futuristic hair dryer, which I absolutely love, hanging there, easy for me to blow dry my hair or blow dry pat. Of course, I have these hanging soap dispensers with my razor on the other end. Absolutely a breeze. It makes your bathroom feel like a spa. One thing I do want to say is I love these Turkish towels. These Turkish towels feel like you went to Turkey and got them yourself. They are so soft, so affordable. In the towel cabinet, I organized everything with little bins from Target. These bins are only about $5 and they're such a breeze. And again, I labeled them with the labeling tape so I can easily see everything. It'll pop very easily. So makeup, first aid, and going out. Every time I go out, I will steam my clothes if I have to, and I will lint roller it. And then I have my hair supplies. Everything to do with hair is on this shelf. Clips, little jewel clips and stuff like that. Anything to do with curling hair, straightening hair. Most of the time I keep it straight, but if I'm gonna curl my hair, I've got all the tools necessary to make it big and bold. At the very bottom, I have my bath bombs, bath salts, bath oils, and my beauty section. If you have everything in stations, you're never gonna get lost with anything because everything's gonna be very straightforward. At the very top, I have my extra sheets and towels, and I also have anything that's very personal. If you always label things, you'll never lose anything. Everything will always be really easy to find. So in this drawer, I have only the things that I consider my absolute essentials. Anything to do with heat is in this drawer. And you can put these little rubber stops over here so that when you close the drawers, things don't slide backwards, and also your drawer will not bang shut. Basically, if you put little rubber stops on the bottom of that, it will slide back super smoothly. I have my toilet paper. My tops are in here. My pants are currently in the wash, but they're usually at the bottom drawer. That leaves me a lot of extra room in the closet because in the closet right now, I have 2 or 3 extra drawers that I just don't use anything in there. I have a green light set up over here, and you can't tell, it looks a little blue, but it's absolutely green. To the side, I have all of my wigs and my hats when it comes to my wardrobe, and when it comes to my kitchen, I don't skimp on anything. So this in here, like I said, I have my hats, my gloves towards the side in that hat box. And then in the center, I have each thing labeled. So the very first row is my headpieces. So anything to do with my hair, and headbands and things like that. Anything to do with jewelry, I keep in the jewel section. And I have a lot of jewelry. I have my underwear in this drawer. I have my workout clothes. I have my workout clothes in the drawer below that. And in this drawer, I have all of my lingerie. My bottom, I have two things for dresses, all my jeans and shorts and everything like that. These are all of my pants. And then in this drawer is all of my writing supplies. So if I'm going to go ahead and write a letter, what I'll do is I'll grab this right here because it has one letter ready to go, and it has all the things I need to make a letter very quickly. So I spray it with a little bit of my Jo Malone Rose perfume before I send out a letter, or sometimes I'll pop a flower in there, but usually I'll just spray it with my favorite perfume. And then in this drawer over here, I have all of my electronics, and I keep my electronics bound with an electronics clip. So there's a clear clip here, but I have all of my camera equipment and labeling tape. Everything's very easy to find. At the very top, you guys have already seen this on Instagram, is my bikinis and my spa things, my bedding, and my pants. One of my favorite poems at the moment, Wind on the Island. I really like reading a poem. You can have pictures and stuff like that. I plan to put some pictures of my vacations and stuff like that with my family up on the wall over there. But I just like having this area so much. There is no more joy than just waking up early in the morning and jumping into this area. If you label everything, you'll never misplace anything. Putting things back takes no thought at all. It takes most of the work out of everything. If everything is right in front of your face, easy to see, to just have a little bit of organization, it will make such a big difference. So I hope you guys liked this video. If you did, definitely subscribe because you guys are going to see plenty of more organization videos. I also will be traveling through Europe next year. So like me on Instagram, and I will see you guys next week.